The most common gift that God ever gave any human is time. When I use the word common, I'm referring to the fact that all humans on earth, the only thing that we are given that is common to everyone, and I'm talking about 7.2 billion people on earth, have the same common commodity, and that's time. What you are and what you become depends on how you use your time. You and I have the same amount of time. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours every day. The old and the young, the black and the white, the Indian and the Asian are all given the same amount of time every day. Time cannot be stopped, but humans can control it. You cannot stop a day. You cannot stop an hour. They have no respect for you. But you can control how it will be used, which means that even though time is unstoppable, it is controllable. And what you do with it determines who you become, because time is life. And every time a year passes, you are basically measuring time, because a year is the passing of time in our cultures. And an opportunity to redefine your priorities is why New Year's come. A new year is an opportunity to refine your purpose. A new year is an opportunity to redefine your life's vision. A new year is an opportunity to reestablish worthwhile goals. A new year is an opportunity for you to bury the past and move into a new future. We measure life in terms of time. We define life by time. Life is measured by time because life is determined by what we do with time. Life is lived out in time. Life is qualified by time. Life is also the passing of time. What have you become is totally dependent on how you use time. Life is also stopped by time. When you die, time stops. When you die, you move out of time into what they call eternity. Time is temporary, but life is eternal. We were put in time to live a portion of life. In other words, time is the measure of space. God created time, but he doesn't live in it. And therefore, when God speaks to us, we got to be careful. God lives in forever, but he placed us in time. He designed time to make life easier for us. God created time to give a piece of eternity a measure, and he put us in it. And God created time for us to live in it so that we could experience relief from eternity. If you lived in eternity, it's a tough place to live. Time was given to us to take us out of eternity. Time was given us to protect us from forever. Time is also given to us to measure existence of life, to define life, to measure the quality of life. Time was given to us to account for our lives and to define the distance between our beginning and our end. Time was given to us to live life in doses. Time was given to us to measure the purpose of our life. Job chapter 14 says, man's days are determined. You have decreed the number of his months and have set limits he cannot exceed. So look away from him and let him alone, Lord, until he has what? Put in his time like a hired man. That's in the Bible. Time is determined. Psalm 39 verse 4. Lord, make me know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is that I may know how frail I am. In other words, I am only here for a breath of time. Psalm 90 verse 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. In other words, let me know how long and how much I have to do so I can use my days effectively. Time is so powerful in the hand of God. And we measure time in minutes and hours and days and decades and centuries, but time measures life also in yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Whatever happened in the past separates you from the future. That's how good time is. Time measures life in past, present, and future. Time measures life in seasons, winter, summer, autumn, and spring, because time protects us from living in a permanent condition. Time is the only commodity on earth given equally to every human being. Time is therefore the only commodity every human possesses. The key to life is what you become in life is determined by how you use the time you have, and that's why we use terms like spending time. Time is a currency. Every human has the same amount every day, and time, like currency, must be spent. And here's the problem. Time is used to buy life. So whatever you are, you spend your time buying it. Even if you're broke, you use your time to become broke. If your marriage is under stress, it's because you haven't used your time in your marriage properly. Time is so powerful that whatever you invest your time in, you become. You can actually treat time just like money. You can have time stolen. Time can be abused. Time can also be lost. You can lose it, just like money. Time can be squandered, just like money. It didn't take you closer to your goals, didn't take you closer to your vision, didn't accomplish the things you wanted, and you spent it and squandered it on stuff that didn't count. Time is more important than money. That's why the businessman says time is money. Time can also be devalued. Every hour is important. My question is, what are you spending it on? You can reduce the value of your life by the things you spend your time with, who you spend your time with, where you spend your time all day. You can devalue your time. You can actually increase the value of your time by choosing what you do with it. You can revalue your time by just adjusting your relationships. You can never stop time. You can also never control it. You can't resist it. You can't compromise. You can't touch it. You can never buy time. You can never slow time down. You can never speed up time. Until death, you are stuck in time. You are victims. And therefore, all you have to do to make time your friend is to manage it. You can measure time in life. Psalm 90 verse 10. The length of our days is 70 years. This is God is saying now you got 70 years. Then what? Or 80. If we have the strength, yet those span is but trouble and sorrow. For they quickly pass and we fly away. What do you do with time? First of all, you can manage it. Secondly, you can use it. Thirdly, you can invest it. Fourthly, you can convert it. In other words, you can use time to develop and build and construct things. You can turn your life into value by the way you use your time. You can use time to fulfill your divine purpose. Time itself is given to you as a gift from God. And so Ephesians 5 says, wherefore, stay awake. Awake thou who sleepest, and arise from the dead. Even Christ himself wants to shine upon you. Verse 15, look therefore carefully at how you walk, not as unwise, but as what? Wise. And then he says what? Redeem the time, because the days are full of evil. Your life is how you use your time. Look at the next verse. He says what? Therefore, be not foolish, but understand what the will of God is. And be not what? Drunken with wine, where there's riot, and be filled with the Holy Spirit, he says. Redeeming the time, using it properly, making sure that you invest it in a way that it benefits you. So when the Bible says redeem time, it means you had some time that you messed up, you lost it, you threw it away. He says now spend the next year making up for what you lost. That might mean you may just stay up a little later, cut off some friendships, shut down some clubs you were part of, change relationships with somebody's organizations that ain't taking you nowhere. Take an evening class. To redeem means that you can't have a normal life anymore because you lost some time you got to make up for. To redeem time means you got to work a little harder. To redeem time means that you got to actually be more focused and more disciplined. To redeem time means that you may need to throw off some things that were so nice and pleasurable to do some things that are important. Redeem the time. It means to recontrol time. It means to repossess and reclaim time. It means to fill the pledge that God promised you to fulfill. To redeem time means to convert time now into value. To redeem time means to fulfill or pay an outstanding debt. When I saw that in Hebrew, it's amazing. To redeem means to pay the debt that you owe, not just to God, but to your life. If you wasted 5 years, you have a debt to yourself. You have to pay yourself back the time you lost. Ephesians 5 verse 15. Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of what? Every opportunity, because the days are full of distractions. You design your days to create value in your life, to take ownership and control of your time. That's what it means to redeem time. to convert into opportunity to fulfill your purpose. That's how you redeem time. And the way you control time is by planning. You got to plan your day, or your day will be planned by somebody else. Time, like all commodities, must be managed. Time must be protected. It must have a focus. It must have a purpose. It must have a vision. It must be measurable in results. Here's how to redeem every day. Document a plan. Put a plan for what you want to accomplish. Put it on paper. Number 2, establish your priorities based on that plan. Number 3, pursue your passion only. Identify your passion and go after it, because so many people will distract you. You better stay with your passion. Not every invitation is a blessing. Not every opportunity is a blessing. The devil's greatest weapon to a disciplined woman and man is distraction, not sin. The devil knows you're too smart to commit sin, so he does something more dangerous. He distracts you to do things that you ain't supposed to be doing, even though they're good. Matter of fact, the enemy of doing the right is doing a good thing. Not everything is good, it's right. Number 4, protect your plans and your priorities. You got to protect your time and your priorities from other people's interests. So, number 5, identify your value. In other words, identify what's valuable to you. If you don't do that, you're going to waste time. Number 6, make decisions based on your destiny. If you know where you want to go, then design your decisions accordingly, because everyone wants your time. Number 7, inventory your associations. I want you to spend the first day of this new year just making a list of all the people you're associated with, all the organizations you're associated with, all the places you're associated with, and see how many of them is taking you to your vision. 8, review your investments. Question, what are you investing your time in? People spend hours watching television. Number 9, do not try to please everyone. If you want to redeem your time, stop trying to make everybody happy. You cannot make everybody happy. Half of the folks who smiling at you don't like you. You have to redeem your time by reviewing who you're trying to please. Forget the past and pursue and design the future. This takes a little bit of exercise to do it. You got to sit down and spend time. But you have to sit down and design your year. Otherwise, you will live somebody else's year. Anything that happens should be in association with where you want to go in life. You have been wasting enough time. It's over. Do something. Get back on track. Control your future by making a plan. Forget about what you didn't accomplish. Single woman, single man. Let this be the last year